Appreciate you in the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle Podcast with Hype. This is episode 152. You follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. It's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not Hype. I'm not geeked up. Very special guest in the building. My guy, GFT Gang, is in the building. Introduce yourself to the audience.
What up, though? This is Dane from the 313 in Detroit. Well, outside of Detroit for me now, but hey, still 313 for
International Hype, not just a hashtag, it's a way of life. Dame threw it out there. You have to go leading down that road. Um,
me.
This is part three, autism awareness. This is the third situation. Like I said, when I started these, everybody's story is different. That's why we're going to get everybody's different story. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. Dame has a unique situation, and now the floor is yours, Dame. You walk us through your story, and we will go through the episode just that way.
um,
Talk to us.
First story is I have two of my three kids are autistic. Um, the first one is adopted. She's my wife's great niece. She's 11 now. When we adopted her, I think she was three turning four or four turning five. Long, lengthy process. We saw some things that wasn't quite normal child behavior. So we got her tested. Lord behold, there we have. She was on the spectrum. Very functional. Just have some different tendencies as as you want to call it, normal
How
kids.
how old was she when they diagnosed her as being on the spectrum?
Either 5 or 6. A few months after we adopted her.
Okay, got
It had to be sometime, few months down the line. We just saw some things going on with her behavior and her learning. I mean, she was a nice person, nice kid. But kids have a tendencies or whatever, and some things wasn't matching up as far as behavioral and learning at certain age points.
one thing I want to jump right in and say is I commend y'all for jumping right on that 6 months and you say, all right, something don't seem right. A lot of
Well,
times everybody wants to think that it can't be my kids because it's my kids. Everybody think that their kid is special and that nothing can't be wrong because you try to protect your own pride and ego instead of trying to do what's best for your kid. So salute to y'all for jumping on that one.
see, that's the thing. That's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of too much pride and ego. There's nothing wrong with our kid. Just because you have a spectrum, your kids on a spectrum or have something totally different, doesn't mean they still can't be special. They're just special in their own little way. That's different from what the normal kid is or what the traditional kid is.
I
There's a
get
lot of
it.
people that grew up to be great individuals and contributed to society that are on the spectrum or completely autistic or something else is differently wrong with them. Well, not wrong, but just different with them. Um, yeah, we didn't have an ego about it. Like, it's better to get ahead of the problem, if this you want to call this a problem, ahead of the situation to help the kid further themselves in the
It's
future.
better to get some answers so that you know how to handle the test once you got the questions. It's easier to handle this.
Right.
You
You
can't
can
study you
cheat.
can't study for a test if you never went to the damn class.
Right. So we got her tested. Everything is going okay. But the problem is certain areas and certain schools, they wanted to be in denial or they didn't want to help out the way they should have. They didn't want to label her as autistic. I'm doing air quotes because a lot of this is BS, the stuff that we had to go through with her. My son, who was born in 2020, the week the world shut down during the pandemic, he was born.
I got one of them 2020 babies too.
Yeah, so
They are a whole different ball game.
they a different breed altogether. He's funny as ever. But around I forgot what about age 2, some things wasn't adding up with him. So we got him tested, and they said he was on the spectrum because some things that he can repeat stuff. But far as just verbal skills, and he wasn't up to par, up to his age progression with a lot of things. Like he can talk, he can play, repeat stuff, but some things just wasn't like for his age progression. So we got him tested. He's on the spectrum with ADHD as well. So he have a hyper kid that is very special. So
Them 2020 kids like gotta kind of they already I think is gonna be like a it's gonna be like a crazy thing with watching them for the rest of forever because they all got started off behind the eight ball because they had to be secluded in the
I,
house
I
because
that's
they didn't get to know your whole family. Like my daughter, we probably didn't come back out the house. My daughter was born in January. I mean, damn, January is the oldest daughter. June. Um, she was born in June, and for like 2 years, we went. My mom's went to my in laws, and that was pretty much it. She knew like my brother's kids and my brother in law's kid. Other than that, she didn't really know nobody. And it kind of puts them behind the eight ball because then you kind of do the stranger danger thing with them, but then you also kind of got to get them to know that this aunt is your aunt, this cousin is your cousin, and it's kind of hard for them to understand because they're so damn little or so young still to decipher them situations. So even
mm-hmm.
like now in the pre-K stage is like they're so excited to see each other because they never really got a chance to play with other kids, like unless you had other little kids in the house. So they
Yeah,
gonna be an interesting test study even without having the difficulties of dealing with this.
and not only that, as far as him, he's already temperamental because it's autism. Some days is good days, some days is bad days. Some days he want to be your friend, some days he doesn't want to be your friend. And even with kids, like no, no. But then like me and my wife's schedule, work schedules and school schedule is like so far in between. We have to have him in daycare because it's only me and my wife really being able to take care of him. So the days when our schedules conflict, we have to drop him off at daycare. When we drop him off, sometimes it's a good he'll just go, straight along with the people that he sees all the time. And other times it's more of like, no, he doesn't want to go. He's grabbing onto our arm and stuff like that. But then we find out that after we leave, he calms down. He's fine. He's playing with the other kids just fine. So it's
So
it's it's like a tug of war sometimes.
how did your daughter prepare you for your son? Or was it just two totally different situations?
Different situation. Um, I can't say because we've had dealing. I've personally had dealings with other people in my family and close friends of the family with autistic kids. So I already kind of see what was going on. Like I have a baby cousin. I'm not sure if she was born with autism, and they actually say I actually read somewhere where trauma can cause autism. I'm not sure how true that is or not, um, but a lot of things happened to her at an early age, and she didn't really progress well. But I could see little tendencies that a lot of autistic kids have, as far as sensitive to noise and whatever, lights, smell, um, sense of touch, like foods. They don't like certain foods because the texture of it. Um, so far as my son and daughter, I I don't think there's really anything that can help me prepare for him because every kid is different. Because
Right.
to calm one kid down, it takes in one and what to spark or ignite them to flip out on you is totally random sometimes.
The only thing that I would think that could have like even because like you said even with nothing going on with the kid, one kid ain't the same as the other. But the patience that it takes to deal with these situations, the amount of all right, I just gotta find a way to deal with it. I gotta I gotta understand that this is what it's gonna be for the next 2 hours. Like it takes a whole lot of that, and especially when they're that little, when they already in a regular circumstance, they already wouldn't be able to completely formulate and tell you what the hell is going on or why they're upset or whatever, without it just being like stop whining. And I know that that has to be a totally different situation.
It is because our temperament with my oldest daughter is very different from our youngest son. I don't know what it is. I don't know maybe because she's older, she should know. I don't know. It's just one of those things that we were surprised when we had her diagnosis because it's more of a the state should did something better type deal. It's not resentment toward her. It's just like frustrating with her situation because it seemed like my son is getting more help with his situation versus my daughter. Um, I'm not sure why that is. Um, just it baffles me sometimes with how people are treated. And my son probably does get a little bit more fair, a little bit more of an advantage because he's younger. And my daughter's 11, he's 4. So he gets a little bit more special treatment, I guess, because of that. Um,
That's crazy. My kids is the exact same age. Oh,
and,
damn.
and man, it's a totally different dynamic because we try to treat her normally. I mean, she knows something's wrong with her, but I don't think she can grasp. She doesn't self-aware of why she does certain things. Like you know how might know something's wrong with you, and you can identify something wrong with you, and you're acting a certain way because of that. She does. I don't think she's self-aware of that yet.
Well, yeah, at 11, it's kind of hard to, make those evaluations.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
at
some people
11,
can. Some people know.
I mean, in all situations, it's always like some people get it and some people don't. Some people mature faster and slower than others. Like you always got those kind of situations. Some people are 38 trying to tell you what's wrong and can't tell you. Like I gave this example a couple of weeks ago on an episode where me and my man is having a conversation about uh he's looking for like a girl, a wife type situation. And it was like, well, what are you looking for? It's like, I know what I'm looking for, but what are you looking for? I know what I'm looking for. But he couldn't tell me what he was looking for. So that's not just a kid thing. That's just a people thing where
Right.
some people can't explain it, can't even express it, and don't
Yeah, they
even
can't
know
articulate.
how, yeah, they can't articulate what it is that they're trying to get out.
They know what they
Um,
want though. They know what they want.
they know they want something, but they just don't know what it is.
Right. Sort of like when
Um,
women eating food for dinner. What do you want for dinner?
oh yeah, whatever's on your plate is
Sorry,
what they want.
that's a
Um,
different episode. Sorry.
oh no, I got a little bit of that for you. We call it a tease in the business. I got a little bit of that for you. We're gonna do that in the get to know segment. That's the next segment. Um, this is something that I ask also with these episodes is what is it that the village can do to help with these situations? Because everybody who's not in the household doesn't understand what it's like on Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 2 o'clock in the morning. Because all of the situations are different. You could be everything's cool, like you said, to everything ain't cool, and now it's gonna be everything ain't cool for the next hour. It might be 10 minutes. It might be the next 3 days. But what is it that the village doesn't understand, and that the village should understand to help with these situations?
It's a scripture I like to use in the Bible about judging. Don't judge. You don't know what's going on because we have a friend of the family who actually helps out with our oldest daughter since we adopted her because they've been with the family that long. She likes to insert her opinion sometimes of how we're raising our kids, and she doesn't have any kids, and they like to just say certain things to and it kind of triggers me. Like I want to give you a story. I'm standing on the steps, and my daughter's coming downstairs to try to go with the said individual, and me and my wife we're trying to get her to be more assertive and to say certain things. If somebody's in your way, instead of trying to move past them, you can say something to say, hey, I'm here, like, excuse me or something. Trying to teach her manners too. So I was standing there and I know she was behind me. My wife she was up there watching the situation too. And I think the woman was like, Master's trying to get it down. I'm like, I know. So Madison finally said it because that's how we got her trying to get her going. She said, "Excuse me." So I finally moved to the side, let her down, and she said something that sparked a conversation like, well, we're trying to teach her to say excuse me or have more manners instead of just moving past people. And she kept putting her 2 cents in. Well, maybe she doesn't know how to do that. Well, she's going to learn because if we're not there around her, who's going to help her? Who's going to actually care enough to tell her, she needs to do this? Or you know how cruel this world can be. It's
Yeah,
going
the
to
world
spark
is
an
very unforgiving.
it's
Uh,
going to spark an incident where if we're not there, she can't say, "Hey, I'm autistic." Nobody's going to care, and
yeah,
she's
the
black.
world is not
It's
the world is not very empathetic these days.
what's that?
Person who doesn't have the person who doesn't have kids, um, giving parents an advice. What you do is you look them dead in the eye and you just say to them, "Copy." I don't need to argue
Oh,
with you.
oh, I
I don't need
don't.
to go back and forth with you. I don't need to explain myself to you because you have no idea what this is. Like my niece, whenever people ask me how many kids I got two daughters and a niece, is what I always say. And my niece is my niece will be 20, like next week. Wow. I
You just ate yourself.
know, I mean, I know I'm old. Um, but I always tell people like having her, here comes the 4-year old, having her prepared me for having kids. People always tell you like, oh, it's different when they're yours. It's only different if you treat them that way. I've never treated her like anything other than my own though. So like you can be in a situation where the difference is that the ones that you have will home, but you can learn from them situations. But until it's you, until it's like she fell off the jungle gym and they're calling you, until it's they're not breathing correctly, until like my wife is having my oldest daughter and we have to do an emergency C-section because her blood pressure is dropping. Until you're in that spot, you can't understand what this is. And if I know that you have never been in that spot, then there's nothing for us to discuss here. You can have your opinion. Everybody has opinions. The 4-year-olds
Right,
have opinions. Like, but that doesn't mean that I have to take these joints to her. I don't gotta let these joints trigger me. I ain't even gotta let it do nothing to me. It just like I said, I would look you dead in your eyes and just go, copy.
right.
Now,
Like I'm not mad at her. It's just like she always has something
give
to say, and she thinks we treat Madison differently, which we do because her behavior doesn't. She's big for her age. For her body type is big for her age. She's bigger than the normal 11-year-old, but her mind is younger than or same at the same level, probably just a little bit older than my 4-year-old son.
mhm.
So you have to treat them a little differently and try to get them more aware and of certain things, not adult things, but far as her age, like crossing the street, looking both ways, just certain things.
What's your proudest moment? What was the proudest moment that you had as a dad dealing with your kids?
Something very small, like me coming home from work, a long day, I'm dead tired, and they're excited to see me.
I
Nothing
try to
feels
tell
better
my
than nothing it feels better than being wanted by your family.
I used to tell my wife this, my oldest daughter, at my old crib, you open the door and then you gotta go up the steps to get it to the crib. And when the key would turn in the door, you can hear my daughter running down, like running across the damn like she would do it when my wife would be coming home. She would be like, "Oh, mommy's home." But to hear that them feet run across the joint, yes, I completely understand. Um, last John on this. What is the advice that you would give anybody's parents that may be dealing with this situation or hasn't recognized that that's what this is yet?
If you don't feel right, you feel something's wrong with your kid, your instincts are probably right. Just get them tested. It's better to know than go through life wondering because you could get the help, get the proper help that they need for whatever situation that arises. Because nothing's more frustrated to try to figure out what's wrong with your kid, but you're not trying to get help for your kid. And practice patience. That is the hardest thing you can ever do. Because I'm one of the most patient people that I know. Humble brag. Um, and sometimes my patients get so, because life comes at you. You have to be an
And
adult, a
waves.
dad, and and sometimes you don't have the temperament to try to deal with something that's special like them. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm one of the most impatient people that I know. So like I always tell parents in these situations, I commend you for being able to handle that and be able to deal with it. I know it's a difficult situation. I always tell people the wristbands that I wear are all mine except for the one for my niece who has autism. Um, okay, now we're gonna switch it up. Do the get to know segment. Get to know sponsored by Custom Hustles at Custom Hustle World on Instagram, Custom Hustle Co on Twitter. We do custom jerseys, jackets, sneakers, barber capes, pocketbooks, sunglasses, t-shirts, sweatsuits, tracksuits, collared shirts, you name it, we got it. Everything's available over there at Custom Hustle World.
can I interrupt with that real quick?
Yes, sir.
Um, a few months ago, I bought some
Those will be
custom
the
hustle sneakers.
those will be the CH1s. My man Dame, my man Dame was the first person to buy a pair of of sneaks from us. We do appreciate the business. We still have not received a photo of my man
I
in the sneakers, but that's
I
beside the point.
I, I want to let you know I hate you. My feet hate you for those shoes because they are so comfortable. I put those
Yes,
man, I put them on and be like, shoot, I gotta go to work. I gotta take things. I gotta wear boots at work. I don't want to wear those. I want to wear my custom hustle shoes because I'm like my feet are happy. I'm
the
like
CH1 the CH1s is like they like running shoes. They like you feel like you don't have nothing on your feet when you got those on.
I look for those when I'm doing certain things. Like I have to run after my son because he's a runaway autistic kid. Found him around the corner one day. That's besides the point. That's another story. If you want to put it on today, I don't know. But I put those joints on and run after my kid.
Copy that. I yes, Dame. I said Dame's the first person to buy a pair of sneaks off me. The CH1s Dame has the green and black joints Dame got. But again, we can use a photo of you with the sneaks on Dame so that we can post that at Custom Hustle World.
Let me get my
But
fit. I'm bringing it out. You'll see me one with this probably next weekend.
copy that. All right, this is to get to know now. I need you to finish this statement for me. My wife is
Excellent.
I didn't she's
Excellent.
just excellent.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
it.
She's
That's what
excellent
I'm
at
about
whatever
to say.
she's excellent, hardworking, loving, very beautiful, um, smart, intelligent. Those are two different things. Because you can be intelligent, not smart. Uh,
Yes, you can.
self-aware. Um, fantastic. I just so many words and not
Copy
enough
that.
words. Not enough words for my wife because she's very patient. She dealt with me for plus years. So
All right, finish this one for me. The Lions will do what this season?
Super Bowl, no hesitation. I'm saying I'm putting it in the universe. We were one half away, and I seen it coming too because like all last year they could not play the second half. It's like they come out second half, forget how to play, forget how to call plays. It's just like so I seen it happening, and I'm disappointed the way it happened, but at the same time I'm still proud of them because 30 plus years of ineptitude from that organization, and now I think they finally got it right.
Yeah, y'all been trash. Y'all been trash cans
Uh,
for like
I,
40,
I'm
50
just going to
years. And
say
God, it's about time. Instead of
I
broken
want to
clock is right twice, maybe at least four times. But damn, Detroit.
I want to say this though. I want to give you a confession of why I dislike the Dallas Cowboys. One, delusional fans, not
Because we have the all-time leading rusher, the Dallas Cowboy, Emmitt Smith, and it wasn't Barry Sanders. Is that what the jealousy is about? Copy, I
No,
understand.
no, no, no. I gave Emmett his number two spot at no number three because
The all-time leading rusher is number one, I believe.
I wonder
If you're
why.
the all-time,
It
if you're the
because
all-time
ours
leader, wouldn't that make you number one? I'm just,
because he decided to hang it up because he got tired of losing. I don't blame him. But for the goats, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, 1A, 1B. You can do it with that. Barry Sanders, then Emmitt Smith. Um, because he had an offensive line. We Detroit didn't. He got all those
it's called
yards.
it was called having a good GM. As you see now that Jerry Jones fired Jimmy, we haven't had a good GM since. I
That's number two. That's my number two gripe. I dislike that owner,
don't like him either.
and for that reason, because I actually used to like the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to do it.
Everybody,
I like because I had to like somebody
all intelligent people, all intelligent people do like the Dallas Cowboys.
making this hard to be on this podcast right now. So
All
no,
right,
but after Jimmy Johnson got fired for having a winning record, it's almost like Jim Caldwell when he got fired because they said 9-7 wasn't good enough, and we got Matt
yeah, that
Patricia.
was dumb.
Um, so
Yeah, that was dumb.
um, but I did used to like the Dallas Cowboys. Then that happened with Jimmy Johnson. I'm like, I got no respect for him, and he got a yes man.
I got one more for you. Forget to know. If Dame back long time ago now, okay, we're not talking currently. So, if the missus is listening, I don't want to be throwing out her name just frivolously on the episode. But if she's listening, we're not talking about back when he knew you. It was before he knew you.
She's a
Okay.
realist. She's a realist. I can actually say that I can answer this truthfully without her getting upset. So I'm good.
All right. So we talking young Dame. Dame is 23. He's in his prime. Hamstrings is still lucid. Okay. Dame is planning a romantic evening. What is Dame making for his guest? Or is Dame ordering something out because Dame's not tight in the kitchen? What's the situation for us, Dame?
Dame's going to macaroni and grill.
Okay. Okay.
This actually happened. 23, first time being on my own. I went to South Florida. I went to Fort Lauderdale. Me and my girl at the time took her out on night to evening to Miami Beach after we went to Macaroni Grill. Had a nice time. Went to a club and everything. Um, yeah, that. Now I will cook. I will cook something. I will prepare
See, well,
something. I would pasta. It would be something like pasta, like related, because that's my thing. That's what I go
so you
to.
gonna go out for you going white or red sauce then if you want
White.
pasta? White sauce, okay. Copy that. Because we had a fellow on, a gentleman. I don't want to expose him and use his name. You go back in the archives and check that out. My man said he get a platter from the corner store, maybe. So I don't want to expose nobody though, You listening and you would know who said that. All right, last segment of the show. This one is sponsored by H2H Cleaning. That is at H2H Cleaning on Instagram only. We do roofing, plumbing, flooring, HVAC, remodeling, cleanups, cleanouts, cut trees, trim grass, however you need any of those things. We're making them happen over there at H2H Cleaning only. If you make it worth my while, we will slide out to the D and get you just right. What do we need to know? Dang, what do we need to know? Any perspectives you'd like to give us from maybe a fan, perhaps? Any conversations that we should join? The ball is yours.
Man,
Maybe a few games
conversation. You know
being
what?
played.
I
I don't
haven't.
know, Dane. You tell
You
us,
know what?
what do we
I,
need to
I
know?
I really don't know myself because what happened is I'm going to tell you my strengths and weaknesses. I as we converse through here now, I am looking for a more suitable partner with. I have a show called Fans Perspective on GFT Radio,
Oh,
and I haven't done it in a while because there's just some things I just need to work on. Um, I can keep a conversation going, but I need some. I'm not comfortable enough. I know myself. That's one of my weaknesses. I know that I probably need somebody to bounce things off of to keep things going and interesting. I'm not confident in myself like as we see Willie Styles. He's very good at what he does. That's why I usually use him a lot to
I
bounce
mean, the
things
brother
off
who
of. When we
didn't send us the link from last week, yeah, let's talk about him.
what? Well, he would never. Oops.
That's my guy, but
Um,
damn, left us hanging.
I mean,
Put
I mean,
57 put 57 topics in the joint, said I'm about to make it, and then send it to nobody. But go ahead.
what the
Shouts
thing
out to my
is,
man
I
Whitley.
don't. I am actually an admin on that. I could have just jumped in, but I didn't know that he was still going to do it because he didn't say,
He didn't say
"Hey,
is he didn't send out
hey."
the information. Mm-hmm.
No, no, I could just jump in, but I didn't know he still want to do it. I'm thinking something might have came up, like because he is very busy at the moment, and he can put his business out there like that. But so I was just like,
He got that
all
Lego
right,
collection going. Yeah, I know. We don't want to throw him up. He
so
making that Lego
yeah,
Batman from
yeah,
scratch. Okay. Uh-huh.
yeah, so so I'm looking. I actually have something in mind. I have to get in contact with a couple of people. I actually have a shameless plug with one of my boys. He does a lot of Detroit Lions topics, called the Lion Syndicate. It's all Lions, all talk all the time.
So
Um,
it been real negative for the last 50 years. I got you. Okay.
wow, wow. How many playoff games have y'all won? Oh, sorry. So,
So all right, man, that was episode.
and when's the last time you went to the conference? Oh, shoot, dang it!
I mean, we
Look at
want
the
to bring up
time.
old stuff. Why you want to bring up old stuff? 1956 championship. Um,
Hey, at least we won something before we went in ineptitude. Before we died. Thanks, Bobby Lane.
God damn, Bobby Lane. Wow, Night Train Lanes. Um, Dame, I appreciate you coming on though, bro. That was
Anytime,
episode
man.
150. That was episode 152. Shouts out to the GFT Radio Network gang. We are out. I can't get out. We're out now.